I'm here to tell you that confidence is not something you have. Sometimes it's something you have to create. In this video, I'm going to share with you 4 tips that will help you be more confident in yourself in any situation, especially if it's a social one. At Character Quest, we offer proven coaching and resources to rapidly help you lead better so you can grow yourself, grow your career, and build a life that you're really proud of. So hit that subscribe button and smash that bell to be notified every time we post a weekly video. Now on with building our confidence together. Tip number 1, be working on something that's really hard, that kind of scares the hell out of you. A few years ago, I had a wild hair to do an Ironman with 0 experience. In fact, I was pretty much terrified of open water swimming. The nagging thought that something with teeth was going to drag me under had me petrified. So it was the day before a high altitude Olympic distance triathlon up in Flagstaff, Arizona, and I wanted to kind of get out in the water and practice swimming. I was up there with family, right? So my dad joined me and we went down to the water, and he sat on a bench by the lake, and I just started walking into the lake with my wetsuit on. So I made it hip deep in and I froze. I was terrified. In fact, people in kayaks came by and asked if I was okay. It was pretty funny in hindsight, but I was literally terrified. In less than 24 hours, I knew that I'd have to swim pretty much a mile around that lake, and I couldn't even doggy paddle on the shore. I felt completely defeated. So the next day I woke up very nervous. We arrived at the lake, I stepped into it with the rest of the racers, the gun went off, I think it was a gun, and it was time to face my fears. Long story short, I finished the swim and the race entirely. I overcame my fear and the swamp monsters too. I did it, and as a result, my confidence blossomed. So here's my point. When you are working on something that kind of scares the hell out of you, like swimming in open water, it does something wild to your self-confidence. And since then, I've always tried to challenge myself to have something in my life I'm working on that kind of terrifies me. And it's a life-sustaining principle of mine that really builds my confidence. So for you, whether it's jujitsu, competitive chess, Krav Maga, or traveling solo to a foreign country, do something that is uncomfortable and scary, and you will come out on the other side with a story that you want to brag about. So here's my point. Here's what I want to get at. I think sometimes our lack of confidence in a social situation comes during times when we know our story really isn't that interesting. And during my year of working on the triathlon, during any social situation I went to, when I was asked, hey, what's new with you? I didn't answer with, oh, you know, the same old, same old. I actually had something interesting to say that I was very proud of, so I was beaming with confidence. So I turn it back to you. What's the scary thing you're working on right now? I challenge you to find something that pushes you outside your comfort zone, and as a result, you will boost your confidence. I promise you. Tip number 2 is pretty simple. Work out. This may sound like a pretty basic tip, but did you know that according to the Washington Post, 15% of American adults get no physical activity? That's a lot. And there really is no excuse unless you physically can't, there are exceptions, move your body more. But what gets in the way? Lack of discipline. Excuses. The famous one that I've said myself is, I'll start Monday. That mentality is a killer. It's that little voice in your head that talks you out of banging out some weights or hitting the streets for a run or a walk. That's the exact same voice that kills your confidence when you need it the most in social situations. If you want to end that confidence killing voice for good, create discipline in your life. Discipline to wake up and hit the gym at 6 a.m. regardless. I need to work on that one. Discipline to squeeze in a workout even with a commute. There are no excuses. Discipline to do it even when you don't want to. See, when you lose motivation, you have to turn on discipline. That's what builds self-confidence. It isn't necessarily the act of working out. It's a daily discipline that you do that builds your confidence because you know you're getting up and you're doing something consistently every day. A disciplined person builds confidence. Working out is just one way to do that. So set a schedule, be disciplined, walk, run, lift, hike, do whatever your heart desires. Just do it consistently, be disciplined. Tip number 3 is change your posture. Right now, I want you to check your posture. Are you slumped over or are you upright? It matters because your posture directly affects confidence in your thoughts. Physiology determines psychology. According to Science Daily, sitting up straight isn't just good for your posture, it gives you more confidence in your own thoughts. Researchers found that people who were told to sit up straight were more likely to believe thoughts they wrote down while in that posture concerning whether they were qualified for a job. So if you walk into a room slouched over, you'll look and feel like complete milquetoast, which is basically a fancy word for weak. So instead, stand up straight and fake it till you make it with confidence. Here's a little tip if you struggle with this. Try a power pose. These are power poses to boost your confidence with posture. So let me give you a little research on why I'm talking about this. Dana Carney of Berkeley ran an experiment in which people were directed to adopt either high power or low power poses for 2 minutes. So here's the fun part. Then they were asked if they wanted to do a little bit of gambling. The researchers found that 86% of those who posed in a high power position opted to gamble, while only 60% of the low power posers felt comfortable gambling. Here's the even more interesting part. They took saliva samples and found something crazy. While high power posers showed an 8% increase in testosterone, low power posers had a 10% decrease in testosterone. Meanwhile, the inverse relationship happened with cortisol. High power posers, that's a stress hormone, high power posers experience a 25% decrease in cortisol stress levels. Low power posers, it increased significantly. So what am I getting at here? Posture really does dictate your confidence. Physiology determines psychology. Stand up straight, be confident. Tip number 4 is learn more. The most confident people I know are avid readers and learners. They're always consuming 1, 2, 3 books at a time, and they're learning a new concept or being swept away into a fantastical fiction world. As a result, they have something new and interesting to talk about every time I sit down with them. Remember this, confidence comes from conversation contribution. If you have a lot to contribute, you will feel confident. If you don't have anything to add, you probably won't feel confident. For example, I'm currently reading Dune, a sci-fi book, which is awesome, Matthew McConaughey's book, a book on aliens, and Jordan Peterson's new book. That's a lot of different stuff. And because I'm doing the work, constantly pumping my brain with information, I can step into any social situation and at least have something interesting to contribute. And for me, that's a confidence booster. So for you, listen to podcasts, read, get Audible, do something to learn every day so you have something interesting to contribute. So there you have it. We have 4 solid things to practice to build your self-confidence day by day. I challenge you to practice these, implement them into your life, and you will see your testosterone increase and your cortisol decrease, right? That's what we talked about. Until next time, thank you for watching, and hit that bell to be notified when we post a weekly video, and hit that subscribe button. I'll see you on the next video.